A Tabor man has been sentenced to a combination of jail time and house arrest on charges of internet luring and accessing child pornography. 43-year-old Curtis David Paradee was sentenced to 90 days in jail on a charge of internet luring. He's going to serve that time on weekends, but he's also been sentenced to an additional 12 months under house arrest and 6 months under a strict curfew on a charge of accessing child pornography. The sentences will be followed by 2 years of probation. The Crown had called for an 18-month jail term and says it will consider appealing the decision. Terry Boat reports.
43-year-old Curtis David Paradee arrived at the courthouse facing the possibility of a 10-year maximum penalty on charges of internet luring and 5 years on the count of accessing child pornography. But under this sentence, he'll spend 90 days at the Lethbridge Correctional Center to be served intermittently on weekends. He'll also spend 12 months under house arrest, followed by a 6-month curfew and then probation. The Crown, which called for at least 18 months in hard jail time, expressed disappointment.
In this case, you see that we had Homeland Security in the United States involved. We had the ICE unit in southern Alberta involved. It takes a lot of effort to find these types of offenders and bring them to justice. So in the Crown's opinion, that requires a higher level of denunciation and deterrence.
In handing down his sentence, Provincial Court Judge Derek Redmond cited psychological reports that determined the risk of reoffending was low to moderate and that Paradee was a minimal risk to public safety, a risk that could be managed through an appropriate conditional sentence.
We have said from the beginning that we thought that in this particular instance, neither society, the victim, nor Mr. Paradee would be in any way served by a lengthy period of incarceration. We're in a situation where Mr. Paradee has accepted what he's done was wrong, and now we'll have an opportunity to make amends for it.
The teenage victim has provided a victim impact statement, saying her life and the way she reacts to people has not been the same. She says she suffers from anxiety and depression and has increased smoking and drinking. She also says she's given up modeling, but plans to go into law in order to help protect other young girls. Paradee will begin serving his first weekend in jail this Friday. Terry Vogt, CTV News, Tabor.
Court was told that Paradee posed as a 20-year-old man to establish an online relationship with a 16-year-old girl in the United States, and he then convinced the girl to perform sexual acts on a webcam. The Crown says it will review the sentencing decision before deciding whether to launch an appeal.